But before I get started, let me just try to recap my story. In March of 2002, I went into a diabetic coma. I was diagnosed with a specific condition known as a non-contagic hyperglycemic hyperosmolar coma. Now, when I came out of the coma, the doctor said, DeWayne, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is that you're alive. The bad news is we've got to remove your legs. So I don't know if anyone here has ever been in a coma, but when you come out of a coma, you don't really realize that you were in a coma. And when the doctor said remove the legs, I thought he meant, oh, move my legs to the other side of the bed. And he said, no, DeWayne, remove. And my daughter said, you mean cut off his legs? My daughter had flown in from Pittsburgh. And I said, cut off the legs? And the doctor said, yeah, and we'll save $250 if we don't like to say cut or amputate, we like to say remove. And so I'm still a little groggy, and I said, okay, $250, I'll save $250. Is that per leg, or is that for both legs? And my daughter is screaming, Dad, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You're not going to remove my father's legs. Part of the drug protocol that they put me on, because my blood glucose level had spiked at 1,337. And I didn't know what that meant, but I could tell by the look on the doctor's face that it wasn't good. So they put me on a protocol of insulin, 60 units a day, of Lantus and Humalog. They put me on Coumadin because I was struggling with deep vein thrombosis, and I had two major blood clots, so there was a possibility of a pulmonary embolism. I also had hypertriglyceridemia, which is no disrespect meant to the medical profession, but they come up with some fancy names for a lot of these diseases. Hypertriglyceridemia is basically you have too much fat in your blood. Well, I had been diagnosed with diabetes, which means you have too much glucose in your blood. So I had a combination of too much fat and too much glucose. So try to imagine taking a beverage, Kool-Aid, and you add a bunch of sugar to it. It gets very syrupy. Throw in some animal fat, stir it up. That's what my blood was like. And so they had to put me on a Coumadin to try to break down the blood clots, to try to thin out my blood. And they put me on Lipitor because my cholesterol also was off the charts. It didn't work. I was alive, but I wasn't getting any better. So they sent me home.
Did you a favor?
Yeah. They said, well, DeWayne, good luck. But luckily, my daughter had decided to take off some time from work. And she had purchased all of the blood glucose equipment and set up my lab in the house so I could begin testing my blood glucose and collecting information, because she knows I love that stuff. And the doctor said, DeWayne, you need to test your blood glucose 3 to 4 times a day. But I didn't have anything else to do. So I want everybody to know, it's not because I was that smart as an engineer. I just decided that I needed something to do because my daughter was bossing me around. And I think she enjoyed it.